Food service has been through some tough times in the last 2 years, from supply chain issues to inflation to changes in guest dining patterns. Every day it seems like some new challenge presents itself. Let's talk about what our guests actually want. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
Touch Bistro is a POS company that commissioned a survey that was taken in June and July of this year, asking our potential guests what they want from a restaurant or a food service establishment. Understand, we as food truck owners are just restaurants on wheels. Much of the information pertains to us, so let's get into the report. The objective. This report provides restaurant owners, operators, and other restaurant industry professionals with an in-depth look at how diner habits and preferences have changed in the wake of the pandemic and what diners want out of their dining experiences today. Armed with this information, restaurateurs will be able to better navigate current challenges, anticipate upcoming trends, and identify new solutions. So here's some of the big numbers that stuck out to me. And this is a multi-page report. I believe it's 30 or 40 pages. 48% of the population is eating out at least once a week, and half of those people are eating out several times a week. Another 19% are eating out several times a month. So obviously not 4 times a month, but at least 3 times a month. So that's 67% of the population in your town has the money and the need to become a loyal guest of your food truck. Now here's what one of the respondents to this survey had to say. I have a new appreciation for going out to dinner now that I didn't have during the pandemic. I've mainly been more aware of the service component and how hard each person is working. I'm just much more appreciative of those people who show up to do the work. So there are people out there that recognize what we do. They may not always say it, but they do recognize how hard it is. Half of the people that are eating away from home, guess what they prefer? Takeout. And guess what takeout is? A food truck. Gen Z and millennials are the leader when it comes to eating out. Remember that statement. It's going to be important later. They're the leaders when it comes to eating out. You know, I always talk about QSCC, and let's see how those stacked up against what guests said are the most important factors when it comes to choosing a place to eat. 68% quality of food was the most important thing. The second most important thing, location, 66%. Mobile food trucks can move and change locations. We can become more convenient than a restaurant. Customer service, 64%. Price, 62%. Safety and hygiene, 61%. Atmosphere, 58%. Speed of service, 57%. So, QSCC, quality service, cleanliness, community. Quality of food, number 1 thing. Service, number 3 thing. Safety and hygiene, number 5. Speed of service, number 7. So they like friendly service, they like fast service. Remember that. People say, it don't matter how long it takes me to get my food out, people love it. No, they don't. They just lie to you and never come back. So everything that I talk about in my books, on the podcast, on the videos, quality, service, cleanliness, community, they're represented in the top 7 things that are important to your guests that took this survey. And they surveyed 2,600 people all across the country. So you need to ask yourself, how are you improving on those aspects for your guests? Because they've already told you it's important. I'm telling you it's important. So let's move on. I ask you to remember the little comment about Gen Z and millennials. They're the leaders when it comes to eating out. Here's why. 54% of those age groups are more likely to use a third-party app to place orders. They prefer to use the old cell phone to place their orders. So they're the leaders in eating out, and over half of them want to place an order on a cell phone. So if you're not on every single food truck locator app that's out there, you're missing opportunities. If you don't have a website with ordering capabilities, you're missing opportunities. The single most popular way to place an order for any age group is through the business's website. Guests are becoming more price sensitive every day. Here's what one of them had to say. That's the first thing you're going to look at is the delivery fees. Not the food options that you're ordering. It's the fees. Plus taxes are a little bit more. And then there's tips on top of that. So it's a combination of everything and just a lot in the end. When you are expecting to pay a certain price and it just stacks up and then later it's not the same amount that you expected, which leads me to ask, do I really want to pay that amount for that food in the first place? And this is what they found throughout the survey. Commonalities to being price sensitive. And it's not just our prices. So when you're one of those people that wants to, let me have the guest pay for the convenience fee of giving me money, when they whip out the credit card and you say, hey, it's going to cost you more. Guests don't like that. This survey is one of many that proves that. So don't fall for it when the credit card company says, yeah, people really don't care. Yeah, they do. They care, and they care a lot. So in case you're wondering what the most popular delivery app out there is, that would be DoorDash at 68%, followed by Uber Eats and then Grubhub. So the survey also asked the guests what they would like to see as innovations, especially when it comes to takeout orders, which is what we specialize in. We are nothing but takeout. So here are the top 5 requests. Option to pre-schedule pickup. That obviously would be done on your ordering app or on your website, but they want to be able to order now and pick it up in the future. They would like to see a dedicated drive-thru just for mobile orders. Now, while that would be difficult for us, we can do things like text us when you're here and we'll walk the order out to you so you don't have to get out of your car. Guests would also like the ability for their order to be saved so that they have an order history to refer back to, so they don't have to constantly ring in and touch all those different buttons when all they want is the same sandwich they ordered yesterday. And guess what else that does? That means they got to join your particular website and leave an email so they can sign in. And now you've got information to be able to market to them. They want a self-serve kiosk for ordering and for pickup. There's been a number of restaurants that I've been to that have an area where they have the food pre-staged to be picked up with the guest name on it. A self-ordering kiosk means you don't have to have a cashier. So you have guests that are looking for this stuff. They want to see it. Not all of them, but it is one of the things they would like to see. And then the 5th thing that guests are asking for is the ability to text an order. One of the survey respondents said, I can now place orders on my mobile phone. By the time I get there, it's ready and I don't even have to get out. Somebody will bring it to my car. I've already started using ordering apps a lot more because of the convenience that opened up because of COVID. And now I'm just continuing to do it after the pandemic has subsided. When I think I want to have a specific meal or a specific snack, it's not about, oh, I have to get out of my car and waste gas and I have to go to all these places. I can just open up my mobile app and place an order and save myself some time. Now, just in case you're wondering about credit cards, the survey found that 77% of guests would rather use their debit or their credit card. Only 17% said they prefer cash, and the average spend amount is $34. Over 63% of guests prefer local restaurants over chains, but Gen Z aged guests, guess what they prefer? They prefer the chains over the local. Now that speaks to marketing because they grew up with all those chains on TV. But there's one thing the chains have also done, the survey has pointed out that guests want, and that is they've adopted the technology that Gen Z likes to use. So yeah, it's a big chain and they make millions of dollars a year, but they're also keeping up with what their guests want. And that's a lesson for us. We got to keep up with the times. So tomorrow I'm going to go over the rest of this survey. And it's got a whole bunch more information that we can glean out of it. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.